Okay. So if you take him off the team, he ain't gonna hang with the kids that's gotta qualify, that's gotta get good grades as we proceed to this.
The whole team, baby.
From the jump.
You notice he said he tried to get it on his own.
Trying to get it on his own.
Can't get it on
We
his
can't
own.
never understood. Why did they call him the Lone Ranger?
Let's find out who you are first.
Okay, what now? He trying to control me. Why did they call him the Lone Ranger? They called him the Lone Ranger, but he wasn't alone. He had Tato.
Facts.
You can't do it on your own.
All right, everybody.
I'm
Welcome.
Sean Williams, and I'm running for county court. I'll do that.
So I'm Valerie Nesbitt Howard. We here also over here at BNAC on the U of I campus, and we in the hub down here. And I'd like to introduce or have everybody introduce themselves. This is the Auntie Show podcast, and let them introduce themselves as we proceed.
So my name is Sean Williams. Appreciate you, Auntie Val, for letting me come into the studio. Appreciate being at the store at the University of Illinois. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm Pastor Herbert Burnett, New Free Will Baptist Church, also owner of Suits by Soldier Clothing Apparel, and also the CEO and founder of My Watch. And I'm really, really elated to be here because my parents was in the room with Bruce Nesbitt when they was making it happen in the 70s. So this is really, really, really special to sit in all the hard work that Uncle Bruce put in the 70s and 80s. Right.
Right. Okay, so Hub, you said something about not on my watch. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So Not on My Watch started in 2008 when the Champagne Key Wine Carrington. I hadn't been back here in 6 months, and I was hanging with Sean, and when that happened, he was going to all the meetings, and so I was holding on to his coattail. All them years he's working for free for the community. I had to throw that in. I wouldn't be Hub if I didn't. But and so I went to a meeting, and all the department heads and city heads were here, were there. They were blaming each other. And what came to me is, in the military, we responsible for everything that happens or fails that happens on our watch. Leaders are. Everything that happens or fails that happens is happening on our watch. And so it was one of the meetings with my brother Sean. I came up with that Army saying, not on my watch. Yeah. So we're responsible. All this stuff that's happening, we're responsible. The leadership is responsible because it's happening.
I like that. So what can we do to be more instrumental so that it doesn't on our watch?
We have to be proactive, not reactive. Since I've been here since 2008, a lot of time we're acting in reactive mode instead of proactive. But I do think it's better than it was back then. We're starting to be more proactive. But all hand on deck. When he was on that, started from the bottom, he said, I try to do it on my own.
Yeah.
You can't do it on it. It takes a collective effort. As I said earlier, even the Lone Ranger, though,
Yeah, so it takes a village. Sean, what do you have, any input on what else?
Well, we were working diligently for a long time, just in the community, trying to make things better. For the community, for the university, for just Champaign County. We've been working for a long time, and like Hub said, a lot from our own work, work day to try to make it better.
Right.
Put our input in. Taking a few little time out. That's why I was telling Brother Hub on the way over earlier that that was one of the reasons I wrote a legislature for Senator Karachi to be able to take back to Springfield called Illinois Volunteer Now. And what that program is designed to do is to be able to get citizen tax-paying benefit at the end of the year for volunteering for non-for-profit organizations.
Oh, okay.
So we wrote that program up. I wrote it and introduced it to Senator Bennett. Unfortunately, he passed away, and then we passed the torch on to Senator Faraci to be able to take that to Springfield because we need more people. We got great guys that's out here, laborers, carpenters, electricians that's retired that can use that benefit at the end of the year and then incentivize them to be able to go and add those skills to the young folks, like Hub said, not on my watch. Okay, what do we do with them not on my watch? And how do we get these people mobilized in a good career, career choice? Because at the end of the day, I know everybody likes basketball, everybody likes football, everybody likes the rap. That's the way to get out the ghetto. But it's other ways that you can live a decent life and raise a family and still be able to travel and do some of the things that you want to do besides, NFL or NBA or any of those type of things.
Okay.
Yeah, none of them help my kids. Rapping, NFL, NBA, none of them help my kids. I got one that's an attorney. I got one that's a principal. I got two that's in insurance. I got an engineer. So I just wanted to caveat after that. It's a whole lot of other different ways than those three you named to get out. We just gotta exercise our gift and exercise our connections. Thus why we here with Auntie Val now to collaborate on how we gonna move.
Right. And so, I've sat in a lot of different meetings for a lot of different areas, and some good, some people mean well, some people in there just you just did a sermon called the checkmark church. The checkmark church. And some people just checking the mark because that's what they gotta do, in order to, to solidify their careers, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I did something.
Oh, so you listening to my sermon,
man.
Oh man, that make me feel good. Because Sean be locked into what he got going on.
Right.
But sometimes, somebody got to throw themselves on the sword, and so that's what allowed me to, jump into the race. I never wanted to get into a political race at all because I know how people do. For years, I even had Jennifer Roscoe one time when I got an award, said, "Hey, you got to run for mayor."
Right.
No, I ain't gonna do that. You remember that?
Yeah, I was right there.
I heard that. I said I'm supportive of the people that's already in there. But when this opportunity came in an area that I'm an expert in, and that's the funeral business, and dealing with folks during grieving, and then I do insurance, and I had an insurance agent. I had to work across the state of Illinois. I trained them every Monday night at my house, every Monday night, to be experts in their industry. So I know about estate planning and all of those different type of things. And I think it's more to that office that can be utilized throughout the Champaign County than what's being done.
I was going to
days over for tagging and bagging is over with.
Yeah, I was going to say you add so much more value to that office. You know what I'm saying? When you mentioned following on sword and fighting, I really thought about Bruce Nelson.
Yeah.
Because Bruce was the connection. Bruce had the whole U of I hand, and he had the community hand, and he could not. If he would let you know, we wouldn't be here today. He had to be able to the White House and the Clinton. Everybody get that.
There's a bridge.
Say it.
And some people got to, some people plant, some people water.
God
get the increase.
Junior Bishop, I didn't know that.
And so you gotta be able to do what you can do. Do what you can do. And I think too many people look at somebody else and what they doing and think that it's mediocre for what they're doing. Every little bit counts.
Right.
And so you gotta just do your part. You know, and look at, I remember the white tea era, and that really hurt us, that white tea era, because it took away from our creativity. You know, everybody got on a jersey. Well, I mean, come on, man, what's your individuality? Why you got to look like LeBron? Why you can't look like you? You know what I'm saying? And I think that era right there changes us up a whole lot. When we need to all have our own creativity. Like, the Bible talks about your gift, and everybody got one. It's just we don't tap in because we try to do hub gift. I'm trying to do Val gift. I'm all in somebody else's area. I'm looking at your hairstyle. I want your style. No, I need my style.
That's it. I've said that, and that's important. You have to know what your niche is, and your niche is not mine. And so a great question. How do you find your niche and what's for you? Because a lot of times people do want to duplicate.
Now, go ahead.
Brother Hub, you want me to answer that?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you exactly how you find out your niche. When you in your gift, everything comes easy. When you working out of alignment in your gift, everything going to be hard.
That's a good analysis.
Everything going to be
That's a great
hard.
analysis.
Because God going to bless you in your gift, and everything is going to be working like clockwork. Everybody you walk into and get aligned with going to be within your area of gifting. But when you out of alignment, don't nothing work right. They must know I'm talking good stuff. And so that's my take.
Yeah, only thing I would add to that is passion. Whatever you gift to do, wherever your niche is, your passion gonna lead you to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I never forget, I was on the Army base and they had to direct us in, and most people was just doing like this. And then you had this one guy, he had on white gloves and he was the talk of the base.
Yeah.
Because out of all them hundreds of people in military police you saw directing traffic every day, this guy stood out. Because he made it passion. You looked at him and you said, now that's what I'm talking about. You could not forget him. The mothers used to see him in Walmart, you wouldn't even know who they was, but you knew him. Because he was in his gift.
And what's for you will be for you. That makes sense.
You know what? What I found out, Auntie Val, is I might as well be me because everybody else taken.
That's true. That is so true. But people always want to emulate someone else, but what works for you really wouldn't work for someone else.
Yeah. And obviously, I was, like Brother Hub said, I was at a lot of meetings across the city, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, let me be a part of this on subcommittees we design. I mean, I help. Quiet as it kept, right? Quiet as it's kept.
It ain't quiet.
Quiet as it's kept.
They know.
I helped them start CCAT, which you've been a part of now. Over 100 organizations, non-for-profits meeting under one roof. We helped design that. I was the founder member of that. Walk is one where we had Champaign, Urbana school districts, and University of Illinois, along with the city of Champaign, city of Urbana, law enforcement, walking through neighborhoods, passing out information that came off of me and Stacy walking through neighborhoods, talking about insurance. I told Steve Carter, city manager, hey, you want to know what's going on in households? Go knock on the door. They'll tell you.
Right.
Build a relationship. So we started building relationships. Station adjustment, we started that program. Keep kids from, going to pipeline to prison. They do a little petty theft at Kohl's or petty theft at the mall. They don't really have to go to detention center. Let's get them with the parents, find out what's going on, and give them resources.
Right.
Okay. So now we find out what's going on. So a lot of these programs, we started behind the scenes. And so I mean, and I narrowed my scope down. Because as these different programs start, like Youth Build and some of these things, okay, what do they do with the money once they get the money?
Right.
So we tapped in and started doing our financial literacy. When the COVID happened, I was losing the club. So I'm down here, I'm at my Brother Hub's shop. Woe me, I'm tears, I just spent all this money and ain't gonna get none back. So I'm like, man, what's happening, Hub? And Hub, I said, what you doing, bro? He said, I'm on my Robinhood app. At that time, I said, man, what's Robinhood? He said, it's an investment app. A young kid at the Christian retreat showed it to me. So I'm like, man, he said, sit down. You're always busy. Sit down and download this on your phone. So I downloaded my phone. I invested like $100 and made like $300 in a few weeks. I'm like, bro, what's up into this?
That's how you came about with your style classes?
That's exactly how I started, Val.
Okay.
And so me and him on Hub, I said, man, bro, we need to introduce this to the community. Where is the space? Where's mom and dad? Own the church. So we started meeting at his mom and dad's church to start the financial literacy that we started doing.
Okay.
The beauty is, even though I turned him on, he's schooling me on stuff that I have no clue on. Because he in it for real, for real. I still not, it's bad right now, so I done pulled out, but I learned from it every time. He always got something to teach. Even though I turned him on, he's schooling me out. And that's the way it should.
And I'm gonna say, well, you can't do it alone.
Yeah, we 3 years in the game now doing it. And so when I just before I got my instructor, because we got a youth group where we're partner with the man. I'm my own podcast group, but I and so we wrote for 3 years. And so I was going, I got to go. And so I said, hey, look, I said, how's the class? Full house. So full house on a Thursday morning, learning about financial literacy, learning about the stock, learning about global economics, because sometimes we wonder why ends don't meet.
Yeah.
Ends don't know the right information. And even if we know some information, because there's a lot of doctors that suffer, there's a lot of lawyers that suffer because they make money. But I always tell people, because they say, man, you got that money. If you living at $2 million, and you're going to be bringing in $1.5 million,
right,
you're drowning.
Right.
And so now we need to know how to leverage money. And I don't know why God took us to this area, but that's where I'm at with that, with the information that we got to be able to provide throughout the community. And I always get out on my leadership because I'm the military like he's military, because what happened or failed to happen on your watch.
Right.
And I will keep it 100. I love the church. I love the church. I love the church. But those have been our leaders for generations. And if they don't know no better, they ain't taught us no better. And so I do funerals. I listen to it all the time when we talking about we going to, he in a better place, she in a better place.
Right.
But they didn't live like nothing on earth, or they didn't have anything, because also the Bible talks about he owns everything.
Right.
So we should own something. We should have something. We should be and the Bible also talks about that you should be to leave an inheritance
for your children's children.
For your children's children, not a bill.
Yes. That's true.
Not a GoFundMe. You see what I'm saying? And so when we know better and we teach better information, we utilize our spaces, we utilize our classrooms.
Right.
We have those Thursdays, those Tuesdays, those Wednesdays, during the day for seniors, during the evenings for children, or middle-aged folks that's off work. We put it all together. Come on, we can't do nothing but win.
Right, that's true. So Hub, you're doing something at your shop, right, for children?
Yeah,
something?
it's not my shop. It's another. I've acquired another building next to my shop, and we're gonna be hood to hood mentoring. Which my brother was incarcerated. He went to University High School, went to Wilberforce University, and was doing really well. And he got into the dope game, got popped off in Chicago, and went to prison and got his master's. Got out and got his PhD, and was teaching incarcerated people, and they were graduating. So he wrote a book called Hood to Hood. And in the book, he starts off by saying, we're locked up 3 different ways. We locked up mentally, locked up physically, and we locked out the American dream. And so we took that name. We're going to honor his book's name. And just met with Paul Faraci yesterday, and just going around meeting with all the heavyweights, because it's important as we sit on University of Illinois. I was Ubering one time, and I went and picked up 2 businessmen way out in West Champaign, and they was trying to figure out how they was going. They had 10 different properties here on campus, and the lady was from China, and she only wanted her daughter to stay in one property. Now, they didn't know me from Adam. They probably thought I was broke. They didn't know I was about his rental property I wanted, right? And so, but I heard the whole conversation, and she only wanted to stay, her daughter stay in one place because of the gun violence. So I'm like, whoa, man, this gun violence ain't gonna help. These U of I students ain't gonna keep coming across that line if we can control. I think I'm on to something that's probably done in the country. And we're gonna go into our base is gonna be incarcerated youth, the detention center, relationships with them, and when they get out, we want to track them for a whole year. We want to give them structure, because anytime you don't have structure,
Right.
you got. And so all gonna go, but me and Sean were going in there, and we were teaching vision boards. He was so excited that one of you know let him in here. Being me, I never asked him, what you in here? We were just vibing.
Right.
17, he was in there for murder. And it blew me because I'm like, this guy ain't no murderer. Now, I'm not gonna say he didn't shoot nobody, but he's not a murderer.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And so if I could get to him in 3 weeks, what could I do if we had a program, a rites of passage that we took in there that dealt with financial literacy, dealt with how to apply? What could I do with him if we built relationships the whole time he was in there and comes out? We watching for him here. So I'm excited. I don't know about this ever been done, but usually when you come up with something that ain't nobody know about, they naysayers. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Thank God that everybody know my name. I bring results. So I'm excited about talking to the chancellor. I got a state's attorney. I got a couple of judges. I'm super excited about. This is going to be really good for the entire community. And here's the thing. I've been around watching for 13, 15 years here. All these programs, you know, the programs, I can them all. They all got something. They all got a Pookie or a Ray in them that's really doing this more disruption to the program than good. Send me the disruption.
Yeah.
Keep all the good kids. Keep all the kids that's going to school. I don't want none of them. Give me the ones that we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And
in Jesus' name.
And you know, and what roles I play into that is that I'm gonna be on both spectrums because I can run up down the elevator, you know, I can run up and down the ladder, you know. So a lot of the kids that's not ready for the financial, that's not
right,
Pookie and Ray Ray.
Right.
Because you got some kids, you know, they don't even want to be around that chaos.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think we don't give them enough attention.
Right.
Because a lot of kids that's out there, you know, that don't want to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
And so some of those are my financial literacy. So give me some of those so we can pull those folks out because they're not disruptors in the class. They want to learn. And so and I always told my leadership, you know, with the city or whatever, you know, you can't give too much focus on the gun violence because now if those kids get the new Jordans and get the trip and get all this here, well, man, what about me? I might as well go slap somebody upside the head, you know, so I get the new Jordans, you know. And so we got to think about those other kids too. But also I'll be working with Hub, you know, because when we went over to the detention, I got a call from the state's attorney like, look, man, we need your help. We got 22 beds over here. We got 20 over here. Man, we need some of these kids not to come back.
Right.
And so me and Hub went over there for like 3 or 4 weeks straight. And even the director didn't even really have no faith in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't.
And so Hub would tell you, as soon as we start coming in and start vibing with it, because I'm like, that's your mama.
Yeah. Those too, right? That's what you're telling me because you don't inspire her. So it's girls, and I'm trying to focus on the girls because a lot of times
that's why we're here.
They be the problem. Yeah.
Well, you know two things. I'm gonna go back on what he said earlier. One, he just reminded me overpacked, and I think the fourth week it was only 9 people.
We knocked that all the way down.
We knocked it all the way down. The other thing that went over his head, it was a 17-year-old that was in there for murder, and we had him excited about vision boards. So I'm gonna take Pookie and Ray Ray and get them right and send them to him.
Yeah, there you go. Elevation.
He's saying, "Oh, we you know, it's some that don't want to be around." I get that, but I'm gonna have these to where they're gonna be able to sit up under you and take information that you, and run with it.
You know what we designed the program because I did this way, you know, and we started getting a lot of kids from Dream. Just keep it 100. We started getting a lot of kids from Dream, and some of them weren't at the level that we needed them to be at. We could tell that they gave a problem. They gave these teachers total,
Yeah.
you know, and so we could tell that, you know. But I thank God for having my own space because now I can talk to them a little bit different. I'm not under the guidelines of you,
Right.
so now I can get with you. No, you can't come here and eat up all my stuff. I'm big up now. You can't come eat up all my. No, you can't steal no juicy juice. You know, put them up for everybody through, and then you can take stuff home for your brothers, whatever the case might be. So, you know, but when we build them back up, because our program that we designed was called Junior Wall Street Jewelers. And that was what we was going to design for HUB. But thank God, because we need everybody all hands on deck. That was going to take away from our resources, our time to be able to work with those right here. He worked with those type, and then we graduate them into, hey, we got a graduation program for you. Come on, Martin.
And let me send a shout out to well, my wife works there. So first I'm gonna send a shout out to her over at the Housing Authority. But the CEO and director, Lily Walton, has an amazing program over there called Youth Bill. And so since I've been seeing, I'm strategic. I fought 2 different wars. So this ain't my first rodeo. But as loud as I am, sometimes I sit back and I just watch how everybody moves. And so Marlon Mitchell has a great program. Tracy Dates has a great program with Boys and Men. Youth Bill is killing the game. They even killing the high school because they giving out high school diplomas. And so, but I also got all these resources. One of our kids, Bill, you get a diploma, you get trades. Now Arkin got some great programs. So I'm a facilitator, right? I'm up, and then I'm gonna put them on the path. But I ain't got to worry about creating a path. It's about 6 or 7 paths that I already got relationships with that we can make happen. I'm sitting here with you right now, and it just came to me in 1972. My daddy had a power program where 50 college students went to the hood and mentored the hood. Right? So we're gonna have, they got a new saying that my kids turn the block. I think it's called spin the block. So we're gonna have to spin the block on that. Show that some more interest, because I'm sure, well, one of the guys gonna be my assistant director is really locked in with the church, who has a lot of the football population. So that's one way we're gonna do that. But we gotta connect the deck. I know you got Champaign, you got Urbana, and you got U of I, but we got one community.
That's it.
We got one community.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's awesome, you know, that a lot of people doing a lot of different things. You got a great program tomorrow that you're gonna be doing.
Saturday.
It's gonna.
You keep saying it's Friday, like you think it's Friday, but Saturday.
But Saturday, you got a great program. Tell us about your program.
So it's gonna be Inspire Her. So I got a lot of small businesses from the community. A lot of them mostly are Black businesses, but not strategically for. But the vast majority are Black-owned businesses and small business and community. And I bring the forefront. A lot of, what happened, like a lot of buying food here. We have a lot of different programs. So I agree with you. At the end of that Saturday, we'll have over 35 out there to be food. Heritage Hall. That's from 1 to 5. Everybody, all different. Products, clothes, food, gain and the community each other and one another.
You know, it's amazing because we don't have a lot of African American business community like we used to have. You know, we're talking about the 60s and 70s and all of those things, and we haven't had economic development in our community in so long to be able to now leverage these businesses to now be from little at-home businesses or pop-up shop businesses to a brick and mortar business. And so that's what you want to elevate. Where you show a little bit and show how this can work. And then
Like Mark Fillmore, they be there to strategically help people get their 501(c)(3)s, help them get a business plan if they don't have one, a blueprint, help them find grants, guide them to where they can get grants from.
yeah.
Just different levels, because it's levels to this, how to get them done.
Yes.
You know, it's just, he's going to be there on deck. We're going to have first followers out there, out there, and it's going to be very informational. We're going to have Big Bill on the DJ. He's going to be on the microphone. And we just really want everybody to come out, come support everybody.
Community.
Yeah, that's what it is, building community.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I'll be there.
So my military done kicked in yet, so I'm gonna switch hats, take off my preacher hat and my suits by soldier, put on my pastor hat or my military hat. So I'm real stickler for leadership. And 23 is probably the worst leadership across this country that I've experienced in my life. And so one of the reasons why leadership is so poor, especially in the Black community, and Sean's a funeral home director, owner. And so me hanging with him, I've seen this be validated over and over and over. One of my sayings is there's no success without a successor. So I always tease him about, bro, I was in the movement. My mom and daddy was the movement, right? The strategic Martin Luther Kings happened in my house over a shot of Hennessy, right? And so to really know, see, we know LeBron, I knew, right? I knew him. I knew the sacrifices he made on this campus. Sort of amazing to me, right? To be able to carry on the torch that you probably never knew or didn't plan to do. That's how that. See, you do. So I ain't never been no piece of them jokers. So, and very few people get to carry on. Have an impact the way they impact.
And I always try. A lot of times I really want to show out. I'm human, but I always remember, like, you know, it's not also we go to work on. Just somebody, Jay, did you want to read these?
Jay,
my assistant, everybody, so
she ain't in a different Jay.
either one of them,
Yes.
and they can give their answer.
You know what? Just because and it will be really valuable for advice coming from y'all. If you could give someone in their 20s any advice you wish you had at their age, what would it be?
One of the students wrote that to y'all.
You want me to take it?
You want me to take it?
Each one of y'all take it.
All right, you take it first.
So I would say be true to who you are and realize that it's way bigger than you, way bigger than you. Be true and dreams, right? Follow your dreams, follow your passion, and own something. That's something own. That probably that top. Look for ownership. Even when you working for somebody. I was in the army 20 years. At my year mark, and I was out of 10 years, I knew the whole. So my next 8 years by soldier. And the military said, "What are you doing with a clothing store? You're in the army." And I said, "What are you doing with lieutenant colonel rank?" Because they couldn't fathom me being in the army and owning my own clothing store. So that, man, even why, and I always tell them, look, I had to work for the people for 20 years, right? Why sign the back of the check? But 8 of those years, I was signing the front of the check. And so American the back of the check be to sign the front of the check.
What I tell you, first thing. Class, and so, brother, saying, hey, look, young ladies, back in the when we were dating, high school or whatever, we say, hey, look, when you go and they all ask, no, oh, I don't really know. That was major to me because everybody that you put a relationship should take you. You shouldn't be around that's not going to take you somewhere. Disconnect. They're not going to take you somewhere. At 20 years later, I tell you, to start planning. My second thing, two people, whatever. So you gotta have something come in. And what I would say is don't follow the crowd. Don't follow people saying go here, do that kind of thing. And that way you see what I'm saying? They'll be at the University of Illinois, you already paved the way. You got some good stock for somebody being able to say, look, this is where you need to be at. Yeah. So, focus in on what you got going on right now. And then I think, tell your friends that Sean Williams said that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you need to be at. That way you don't get caught up into something too early. And then now you're trying to spin to catch back up and life started life on you. And then that you got to fall back because life didn't start life. So you ain't got no kids right now, all that type of stuff. Plan that out. So that way,
leadership should take you somewhere. Even I'm a pastor. And I gotta be able to take my people somewhere both mentally and physically. The kids, we gotta take them to Six Flags. We gotta take them to the Credit Center. We gotta take them somewhere. We gotta show them something, right? I was driving down Uber and I was driving down Green Street and I got to 6th and Green and it was drizzling outside on graduation day and it was 300 people, Asians and Africans, all in line to take a picture with the alma mater. And I thought to myself, these people come from other countries to take a picture with the alma mater. And Pookie and Ray Ray, shame on diversity and shame on our community. And that's why we have, give me some crack.
You know, I'm definitely learning in the stock market, you know, as far as, you know, Uber, Lyft, and some of these different apps that's been developed, started right here at the University of Illinois.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? These billionaires started right here at the University of Illinois. We produce at the University of Illinois more billionaires than any other school on earth. So, I mean, if these people are getting this type of education over here and our kids got the worst grades in the state, it's a problem.
yeah.
It's a problem. And for people to not be in an uproar for that to be a problem, that's a problem. You know, so that's with that course position, you know, I'll me and Brooklyn was taking kids over because TV just that's the way. And so we think, you know, if we video everybody, they go, you may be,
Right.
but it's like no more. Go to the court office. I'm with my role. Tony ain't here. I know he would have found this. No, we had a rash of but nobody never said. I know that I was in the influx. I think it's got to be about the ninth guy that then died from heroin overdose. But the current people that's in the office, you know, I mean, this ain't nobody that you know. This ain't your cousin. You know, these some of the guys I grew up with. These some of the guys.
What do they say?
It should have been a press conference. It should have been an immediate press conference with the health department and that office and said, hey, look, you guys need to talk to somebody. We just had time, you know, promote heroin addiction. A lot of kids over there, you know, you would always tell us that it's fentanyl that's on the weed. You know, so now we got to watch out for the weed. Just because it's legal, I mean, you still got to watch out because somebody doing something that they ain't supposed to be doing. So we need to educate folks to make them be aware of this here. You know, this ain't safe as it used to be. You know, and so we gotta be an education about. You know, I mean, the Bible talks about my people perish for the lack of knowledge. When you don't know no better, you can't do no better.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. I really do.
That's what I appreciate, and number love.
Be the same.
Can you do all this?
Your turn for me to learn from you. I know like
The best part of my job, flashback when I would have talked to kids and I forget what school it was. But you know, the best part of my job is that I put on what I want on. You know, I get up and if I want to take the day off, I can take the day off. I own my own. If I want to push it off and say, hey, look, if my mama called me right now and say, I need you to come over to the house because my daddy is on hospice. If I need you to come over to the house right now, hey, look, I'll get back with you in a second, y'all. I need to go over to there and check on my mom. See, you don't have those benefits or those luxuries when you work for somebody else.
Well, I'd like to chime in because I think the best part, one of the best things about my job is like what Brother Sean said. That's why I love where I work and I love the space that I'm in. Because if I get a call right now, I'm up. I gotta go, and I do work for somebody. The goal will be for me to eventually work for myself, but that's why I love the space here. Because if I get the call, I can say I'm gone.
And you build that up when you own it, when you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they trust you. They know. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
it.
so
I
you
try
gotta
to
build that
give
up
though what
somewhere.
I expect.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
A lot of times we work somewhere, you know, I mean, it's all about money. That's why people, you know, facing those. I mean, it's all about, you know, the CEO guy. They try to get rid of it.
I love
So,
the space.
another thing I like about my job is that I'm helping people. You get the notification when you see somebody just now that lost somebody right before I got up here. And, and, and by me just calming the wall for that, it's calm period.
Right.
Even though she's going through tragedy. One of the yeah, filling people in. Brother Hub. That's
And I said, I got you, Ma. I said, all I need is 5 minutes and I'll be there. She said, you gonna be in 5 minutes? I said, yeah, I just gotta run to the shop and write myself up for no call, no show. I said, I wrote myself up. I ain't called no boss and tell them I gotta go. I wrote myself up. And I don't never want my wife to make good money. But what she makes on her job as a housing authority, she could probably triple working for her. And her see that is when she friend met and but when my friend, okay, Lord, who you want me to help? Because my real job ain't today. Because show me who. Right now that I've had to clean up and my and what they say. And this is what they say. Like if you're better, if you, I just changed your life. I just came to positive reading a few words. So no better feeling in the world to be able to help somebody else at 10, 15 years old. They was a hard head, knucklehead as a basketball player, but now they're a good father. Military, we call it, they are a contributor and not tax liability. Pray my spirit.
Okay. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We definitely stay there. He'll be talking. We're going to have running for the county coroner.
Yes.
And will be out there. I'll definitely be out there. If you need any assistance, I'll have workers out there. Please come out and forward to seeing you all, and it ain't nothing but love.
Nothing but love. John Williams for county coroner.
Hey.
Let's get it done.
I'm worried about me.